What's up, everybody? Patrick LaRouche here from Evolve Restorative Therapy, and you can find me at livepainfreeprocess.com. I have a pain-free concierge service that helps people live and move pain-free. This video is all about what I talked about last week, and last week I told you how I shredded my ankle and now I have to rehab it. I'm a very big component on you have to learn how to touch yourself. You have to do it confidently, but the only way you can do it confidently is by seeing and knowing what's going on. The only way you get to know things is by getting the data and starting to play around with it, realizing that you're not fine china. As long as you do it properly and safely and easily, your body won't hurt you. Now, I have to show you what happened to me in the first place, how I magically shredded my ankle. So, let's take a look at this lovely diagram here. Now, what we're looking at is a skeletal system. Now, the skeletal system has an ankle. We are looking now at the right ankle itself, at the left ankle. So, outside the ankle is where I rolled my ankle itself. You have to realize that there's different retinaculums that happen, both the things that actually happen, let's actually erase. Retinaculums hold things together, keeps things moving cleanly within itself. So let's hide that for a second. Let's hide this retinaculum as well. Think about them as rubber bands that keep things nice and taut. The ligaments is what happens when you roll your ankle. This is one big one that happens a lot and often. This is the one that bothers me somewhat still, but also all these little ligaments that happen within my my ankle itself. Oh, that's a retinaculum as well. So you have to realize that not only did I roll my ankle and I hurt a bunch of ligaments, I hurt the little things that's on top of my foot, all these little things when I rolled my ankle in between. So you see how small and detailed they are. Now, what people don't realize is, or what I want you to realize is, it's layered on top of muscles on top of that, skin's on top of that. So you have to learn how to look at this whole thing and start looking for swelling, redness, things like that. That's going to give you an indication that something's wrong. So I have this tendon that I have to work with, this tendon I have to work with, and these tendons that I have to work with in order to get so. So the muscle tissues that bother me the most and that help me plan are right here, which are all your peroneals, and a muscle that helps me pick my foot up all together. So let's take a look at that. So I hurt when I plantar when I push off. And as you can see, this is also the right foot now. So you're slightly looking at it differently, but outside the ankle is where I'm having my issue. And you can see as every time I plantar flex here, you see how the peroneals light up. They start working. So every time I go, it's starting to work. As well as things throughout my calf. All together. Let's get rid of the calf for a second. And this for a second. And all of this is my soleus. Now this was the biggest thing that I had to work with, because it doesn't get a lot of blood flow. Let's get rid of that for a second. And then all of these muscles underneath was the bigger issue. And they're very hard to get to, and they're very delicate. So I'm going to show you how to get to that relatively simply. But as you can see, every time I move, I get pain right through here by my peroneals, as well as my anterior tibialis and muscle tissue in the front of my leg all together. Uh-oh, I'm getting a little glitch here there. My extensors of my toes, which now run all the way up my leg. Now this is the key that I want you to see, is my peroneals run all the way up. I'm getting more issues up here, and that's where I had to focus to get easier movement down below. I had to focus everything up here, and that's what I want to show you today. So those areas is now what you want to learn how to palpate and touch. So let me show you how I did that. The magic of editing. I just popped up right here. I'm in a completely different spot. So what you have to realize is this. As I started to move my ankle, move all these different things, I had moving parts that needed to work. They were inflamed because of ligamental damage, which is structural. So I had to learn how to touch my ankle. So what I did is I started crossing my leg, which a lot of people do just to stretch their hip, their piriformis and things inside their hip. I didn't do that for that purpose. I crossed my legs what's comfortable, and then I held that one ligament that's at the corner on the base of my ankle. And I just held it. I touched it and I held it. I didn't grind at it. I felt what was tender and I felt how hard I can push. And I sat there and I watched TV. You know, I sat there and held it. It just compressed it. And then every now and then I would do a small little circular motion just to get more movement in it. Or I would hold it and I would point my toe. Point my toe. I would run through the movement pattern that needed to happen. Another area is I would hold the back part of my ankle. So the same thing, I would hold the back part of my ankle. I would do it in this way, and when I got tired doing this, I put my foot up, and then I touched the back part of my ankle. So I'm actually pushing right in the back part of my ankle where the peroneals come down, around and underneath the back part of the ankle. That's what the next spot you want to do. But the thing is, you might have pain in other areas. This is just my cycle. The point is, you have to feel, you have to touch, you have to be confident in that. So now I have peroneal issues, calf issues, intrinsic muscles of my feet. Remember, that's going to be important to regain. So the first thing I did is I lost my ball. There it goes. Happens often, by the way, is I put the ball down, and I just started watching TV with the ball underneath my foot, and it's not to a painful degree. You put the ball underneath your foot, and then you feel area, and you walk. First, you might not need to focus on the TV. You might need to focus on what you're doing inside your foot. In most cases, everyone's going to be tender in the real arch, in the arch part, but closer to your big toe. I had to focus on everything on the outside, which then I started realizing the ball will pop out. You have to have control that, right? You want to get to those deep tissue muscles underneath the fascia, all these, but it's not using a lacrosse ball because you have to blunt force it in. This is an area that's already protective, so be safe, be easy. That's number one. Then, like the foam roller right there in there. I would put the foam roller down. Now I'm at the base part of my ankle and I put weight load on it and I sit down again. I do this right when I rolled out of bed because it was really hard getting out of bed and walking to the living room, and I would watch the news with my kids. I would sit down and I would just roll my ankle to the out, to the in, to the out, to the in. And then next spot up, out, to in, out to in, and I'll just consistently roll this back out. Now, if you haven't watched my video on how to foam roll properly, then you need to do that because you can really aggravate an area by foam rolling too hard, too fast, too hard is the key. If you don't have the right angle and weight load, there's so many different things, and I have a video series that you can purchase that's ridiculously cheap and easy that you can do it. So watch that video to understand how to foam roll. Next, after I foam rolled that, then I took that same handball and put it underneath the top part. Now remember, I told you I was suffering more issues up through here because that's how I performed better. So I want you to start looking at where I'm at. Not high at the knee, but right underneath the knee there's a little notch there where the tibia and fibula lie. So you put it right there, drop your weight load down. I'm a big fan of this posture anyway, so it's easy for me to be here. If you can't, figure out how you can go here. But the point is, you need to be able to put and control weight load. Don't just drop it on because that's gonna suck. Put it on, find the weight load. Hand on the outside, find the weight load that's comfortable, and then roll the foot up. You're gonna get it, holy shit, that hurts, okay. Don't do it to a pain. Feel a nice, easy spot. Breathe. And then move it down. Pick the foot up, down, oh, there it goes. Find the spot, breathe. And I worked my way all the way down. That's trigger point work now. So So I'm showing you all three. Took my rope, wrapped it around my foot once, wrapped it around my foot twice, put my butt all the way against the couch. Now this is what got my kids crazy, because as soon as I did this, they want to grab the rope, which then equally sucks, because now I'm actually going to do the motion that rolled my ankle in the first place. I'm gonna roll in, which then triggers your body to want to fight, to protect. You have to get it to want to elongate easily. And then I rolled the other way, which equally gets a humongous stretch on the inside of your leg. And then all I did was straight line. I had to relearn how to dorsiflex, plantarflex my foot. I have to re-educate how my foot to work properly, because my foot wants to either roll in or out to protect for that. So all rehab is using corrective exercises to get a proper range of motion. So those three things I did daily. And the first 2 days I did it twice a day. Yeah, twice a day. I did it twice a day for those 2 days, and then after that, I added small things throughout my day itself to make it want to get. I started watching how I'm pushing off with my toe, etc., etc. If you want to watch the video on how you walk properly, that will give you all the other stuff that I did. And all you have to do is just search my YouTube channel for that. But that's what I want you guys to focus. I rehabbed myself so fast because when I stopped the onslaught, I got rid of the shoes. I braced my ankle for 3 days, and then I bought shoes I was stiffer and harder that my body didn't have to work as hard in. And then I started the rehab work immediately and started to get it going. So this is now, we're almost a week and some change in from this happening, and now I barely feel it whatsoever. I have pinpoint spots that's still sore and tender, but I have to go searching for it. And I'm gonna clean those up as I do this anyway, because now I'm not doing it every day, but I'm doing it enough to keep my body moving further and further. So what I need you guys to do, what I need your help with, is comment down below. Tell me how this helped. Tell me if this helped you, and tell me if I have to go further, because there is stuff that I also doing that I don't have the time to put it in this video. So tell me what's going on. Tell me how your ankle feels after this, because I love to see people getting better. That's what this is all about. So tell me what's going on, and I'll make some more videos like this. And palpate yourself. Get comfortable touching yourself, because we are not Five China, and so many people are scared of doing it. Touch yourself, enjoy. All right? Live and move pain-free, everybody. Bye.